Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm installing a K&K acoustic pickup, as you can see circled here in the manual, which I'm going to leave up for a bit. It's useful. This video is going to be pretty rough around the edges. My cinematography was leaving a lot to be desired back when I did this project, and like 2/3 of the footage was just unk shoulder, so had to trim around that. Anyway, plenty of useful information here. As you can see, we're going to stick these 3 transducer pickups that are circled in yellow on the underside of the bridge. So you can see the 3 transducer pickups are pretty evenly spaced and centered, each above a string pair. So you've got E and B, G and D, E and A there. The trick, we're going to use some gel super glue to stick these right to that wood. We're going to use this little mounting jig they give you, made out of a couple of golf tees and a little piece of acrylic. That's actually pretty handy. It's a pretty inexact process, I would say, the actual getting your hand in there and inserting the transducer. But since you're on that gel super glue, you have a little bit to kind of slide it around. It's really not too bad. Pretty easy to get them spaced right. I'm prepping one of the mounts right now off camera. You're going to use a little bit of putty that they give you, and you put that on the backside of the transducer, and kind of gives you some temporary adhesion to their little jig, which you then use to pull the super glue side up against the wood, which I do demonstrate here in this video. So here I've got it in my hand. You can see it. You see the gold there. That's the transducer surface that's going to mount to the wood facing up. I bumped the camera, but you can see here the camera phone inside the guitar. You can see how it's sitting on the putty, sandwiched against the thing. And now you can see the white part of the jig poking up through the guitar. And then in the inset there, I've shown you the first one that I got stuck. So now I'm actually prepping the second one. You can see in the inset there, that peg that runs through the jig allows you to kind of mount it to the bridge temporarily while you set up your next transducer pickup. So I've puttied that and stuck it to the jig, and now I'm going to put some super glue on it. Make sure you really get good coverage. You want squeeze out around every edge, the entire perimeter of the circle. That way you know it's complete adhesion for the most volume and tone and transduction possible. These are just going to take the vibration of that plate and directly turn it into voltage. There is no preamp in this model of the K&K that I'm installing. It's just expecting a preamp either in a foot pedal or in the front end of your acoustic amp, which is pretty common. So keeps it nice and simple. It's a bright, brilliant sound, very loud right off the wood, and the transduction itself, just physics at work. You really do got to kind of fiddle with it a bit once it's in. I don't have the best footage showing this, but you got to kind of press it on there and hold it for a little while. Give that gel super glue time to set. You might have to reach in with a finger and slide it around or really hold it in place. If you guys are digging this kind of laid back guitar DIY content, give me a like, give me a subscribe, leave me a comment. It all helps the algorithm help me bring you more of this cool stuff. All right, let's skip ahead here. Listen to me breathe the whole time. You can see the second one is in. A couple of nervous thumbs up. Really not much to it, just a bit of kind of finagling. Here's a inset shot of all 3 of them, pretty evenly spaced. As I said, they don't have to be perfect. It's not really how far they are from the string holes. It's more how far they are from each other and how they're spaced relative to the strings. So let's turn our focus, now that the transducers are mounted, to actually mounting the output jack, which you can see here, me reaching in and grabbing. And back to 2024 iPhone cam. I'm going to go ahead and push a guitar cable in through the back of that. For that 1/2-inch hole, I suggest you widen the existing hole with a reamer or step up in bit size to 1/2 inch, or you can use a Forstner bit, which is what I did. As you can see, the cable has looped its way around there I go, I got it. And I'm going to have to take the retaining washer and nut off the end. Make sure my set washer and nut are on there, which they are. I'm going to attach these two together. Kind of gently tug the guitar cable. My ambient light will wake up here. There you go. Pull it out through. It'll stop on your set lock washer there. I'm going to use a fret slot depth gauge just because it's a thin little piece of metal that can grab those threads so that I can disconnect this and not have that fall back into the body. So you just put on the fastening nut and washer there, tighten those down. I'm going to stick a 16th inch Allen wrench through the hole. I was going to use that as a counter wrench, but the locking washer worked well enough. I didn't need to. It just grabbed. Still the wrong way, dude. There you go. Got another really cool acoustic video coming next week. Gibson Heritage that I had to refret. Wait till you see the fretboard on that thing. Good Lord. Fun to resurface. All right, that is nice and snug. We are going to screw on the finish cap. You can ignore that extra washer that was actually on the bench from something else. Bada bing, dude. As you can see, I'm quite excited. Thanks for hanging out, folks. See you next time. Like and subscribe. Come back and see me again. Electric Guy Guitar. Peace.